Hello everybody, my name is Lucas and welcome back to the 39-month world tour on the Rouindaria SSP. We have a whole bunch of things to cover. Starting off, there's one thing visible already, but let's not get carried away with ourselves. First things first is, once again, here's Jim. He's stuck. Say hi to Jim. This cat was originally up against this building here, and we expanded it out, and I decided that because zombies were no longer going to be walking on the outside, that I would just tear it down and restore the building to its normal size. We still haven't done any more work in here with getting more zombies or anything like that, but we did tear down the outside of this building to make it a little bit slimmer again, and our poor cat, he needs a name. Drop a name in the comment section of this video, and I'll name him. Also, there used to be a villager up here. It was a failed attempt at a raid farm. The villager is still up there, but I tore down the remnants of the raid farm. And now it's just a box. So now every time I come here, just see a box floating in the sky. Anyways, we still haven't passed episode 600 yet. We were on episode 511 last time. And now we're on episode 555. So not too many streams in the last 3 months. Only about 40, 45. So, still averaging about once every other day. But I'd like it to be more, and hopefully it'll be more next time. Moving on over here, ignore the giant decorated cactus farm for now, but this is our super smelter. Mini super smelter. I tore down the temporary 32 furnace thing we had here, decorated this area a little bit. Tore down the old super smeltery. At least I hope I did this in the last 3 months and I'm not just repeating myself. Anyways, we tore down the old dysfunctional super smelter that was kind of half broken and replaced it with this. And it's not the most efficient thing ever, but it is 32 furnaces and it's got a whole bunch of fuel and it's kind of decorated. I've decided that this little flag right here, oh, sorry, from this white concrete up until here is like the official flag. Got a little globe with some light sources and so on and so forth. And the reason it might seem like the light sources are overdone is because I am still in 117, and so everything needs to be a nuclear reactor to not spawn mobs. But this is cool. I like it. It fits in the aesthetic. Also replace the floors and all that. It fits the aesthetic of this little area over here. I replaced the whole prismarine End city brick nonsense, and it fits quite well. Also, we have our cocoa farm over here. It produces more cocoa beans than you could ever need, No, we finally went and got cocoa beans for the first time when building my wool farm, which we will get into, but I hadn't picked up brown dye until 3 days ago or something crazy like that. Now can move on over here. We decorated our cactus farm. So instead of having, I'm sorry, I'll stay away from the clicks. Instead of having the exposed cactus farm like this, I decided, it needs decoration. And since cactuses are only 16 blocks wide, I decided, I'll add a little border here. I like the border. Instead of making it flush, added some border, and I made the cactus, and personally, I kind of don't think it looks like a cactus, but enough people have said that it looks okay, so that makes me feel slightly better about my building abilities. But we didn't reorganize anything. We just put a little cover on it. Anyways, moving on to the Eva Castle over here. Notice how when you walk through here, you don't hear anything. That's because I moved all of these down one level. And I also replaced them with hoppers. The ones that were within visible or audible shot, I replaced them with hoppers because before it came down here and there was an observer clock right here and it would shoot them out in a water stream, and that was really annoying. So I decided to just replace that with a hopper chain. And then obviously you have to shoot it in the water stream to come up, but I did dig that down. And then luckily this one was already not audible from main level. You can see we're at main level. Can't hear anything. So now we don't have to hear clicky, clicky, clicky noises anymore, which is lovely. Also, pertaining to the Evil Castle, I added... Nailed that first try, by the way. I added some little border decorations over here, right? This area originally was exposed, as in it didn't have... It was just exposed, you know, you could see the sandstone. So I decided to cover up and add a little bit of a ascending staircase with light sources that are kind of hidden. So at nighttime, it kind of adds some light to the three corners, right, with the three pillars. Still haven't decided on what to do with this main floor here in the middle. Also, haven't decided what to do with the area down here, other than replace the torches with an actual light source block, and I'm going to go to sleep before I get mauled by husks and other evil things that just spawned in my face. Like the creepers. But I haven't, like I said, I haven't decided on what to do with this main area yet. Still working on other projects and still working on ideas and stuff to fill the corners out. Another area in which I extended blocks to was this corner. Pretty sure it stopped right here, so I just extended the blocks outwards to reach the base here. Once again, just tidying up little builds around here. I also did it on this side too. Right, just to make it look more complete. This building only needs a couple of things. It needs blocks right here. I'm really not quite sure what to do with these little areas over here. That will be dealt with another time. That's all the updates on the Evil Castle, I believe. Don't know, yep. I think that's all I've done. If I've done anything else, I will let you guys know. I believe that's everything that I did at the main base. We just did that, talked about this. Oh, this is kind of minor here. Since I built this XP bank, these two levels of scaffolding are always at different heights. If I remember, I'll throw a screenshot or an old VOD clip that I can find right here, and if not, you just have to take my word for it. I believe the left side was higher, but I finally leveled it out. So, everything is symmetrical at the XP bank now. You guys can breathe. Also, don't mind the notes. These are just if I forget anything. Before we move to another areas, this is just me farming red trees for wood here and at the Evil Castle. Before I move on, this is Touchosilk 69. I finally made more pickaxes. Show you guys what that looks like in a little bit. But I asked chat whether or not it should be a netherite pickaxe or a gold pickaxe for Touchosilk 69. And chat voted on gold. So if you'd like to be influencing the world more personally, you guys should check out my Twitch. You know, twitch.tv/Roudog1. Shameless promo. But along with making Touchosilk 69, we also made more. I don't have... Here's the regular Touchosilks, and then... Where'd the other one go? Oh, it's right here. This is Touchosilk 70 through 99. So, fully enchanted. Looking lovely. And then, before we update, or, yeah, Touchosilk 96, I think. Like it goes up to 96? Did I make up to 99? Trying to think if I put it in here or not. Yes, I did. I put 97, 98, 99 in here. So we do have up until Touchosilk 99. And maybe we'll get to 100, maybe we won't. But before I update to 120, I will be making all of those netherite. But I probably will be updating to 119 to get the new terrain, to get new features, to go check out all that stuff. But before we update to 120, I will be making all these netherite. That's a lot smaller of a deal than than collecting 5 million gunpowder and 4 million sand, I think. Also, you'll notice that the list over here, this is all we have left to do, is I have to AFK to gather 5 million gunpowder. I have, however, gathered 3.9 million gunpowder in shulker boxes, and I think that is where we will head next. Before we enter into the beetroot farm, though, check out, we have nether animals. These brave soldiers went through the portal on their own, but on the other side of the portal we have the finish. Da-da-da-da! This is the beetroot farm. If you remember last time I was here, we had a flat piece of land, and now we have a fully functional beetroot farm. I unfortunately will not be activating it because there's too many half-grown beetroots. But I can definitely show you guys around. So these right here are the hopper minecart collectors. So obviously we flush the beetroot, that gets picked up, and then it gets dropped off here. And then if I were to fly over here, I can show you guys more in depth. So the items get picked up, they then go through chests, they then go into this dropper, and they will pile up here until I flick, I believe it is this lever right here, in which case it activates all 16 of the observer clocks and fires all the droppers. Then the items get launched in here, and they go up into the item escalator and get broadcasted through here. That's the right word, broadcasted, right? And then to split up the item flows, all the beetroot and seeds that come from over here will end up on this side, and all the beetroot and seeds from over on the left will end up on the right. Just, you have to trust me, that's how it works. And then they'll get split 50-50. We have a nice evenly split water stream, and if you're wondering, well, how they not get stuck in the middle? No items come through the middle. So that's why none of them get stuck. Symmetrically, they'll go up, and then here we've got storage. Lots of different chests happening here. These chests right here are for replanting. So I have 4, 8, 12, 16 seeds of beetroot seeds that will be replanted. You can see I have a filter set somewhere. It's the hopper above this one. And so that's for the seeds for storing. These are all the extra seeds that then get composted and turned into bone meal that we don't need. And then right here we have the beetroot. Beetroot storage, there's none in here because I've converted it all into shulker boxes. And then here is more bone meal, but that very rarely gets used. It's just extra beetroot storage. And if I were smart, I would switch these with this. That way, I could store more beetroot. And then this is my, yes I cheated, cry about it villager. It trades me 8 beetroot for a shulker box. Now, for the astute among you, you'll remember that I said I will be trading 32 beetroot for 1 shulker shell. So essentially, I get 8 times the value plus the chest for what I said. And I did some mental math. And based on the rates that I'm getting from this, I say mental math, I did some math. Based on the rates that I'm getting from this compared to the amount of effort that I would put in to get the same... So this took like a month to build. Just constantly tweaking, building a month. If I spent a month building the top tier shulker farm, I would get, I think it was like 1,000 shells per hour. And that's just, if I build it in spawn chunks, I just leave it and I get 1,000 shells per hour all the time. This, not only is it active, I have to trade with the villager, but I also have to take about 45 minutes to replant the entire farm. So I feel like it's a very fair trade to get about a chest's worth of shulker boxes every time I harvest. Since really I'm only harvesting it once every other week, if that. Actually, I need to harvest it since I'm out of usable shulker boxes, but we'll get into that later. And so this is where I keep all the extra shulker boxes if I have it. This was a dog that I tamed. He's so cute. But that's how it works. We got beacons for speed to help speed up the replanting. And really, the only thing that I want to do is I want to put a stained glass beetroot right here, because I think it would look super cool. There was a giant art of a beetroot up above. However, I'm not sure how that's going to affect the light levels down here and all that. So if I have a giant beetroot above this farm in the next world tour, then you'll know that I did that. And if not, then, well, I probably want to, but I just put it off because I'm lazy. Onwards to the next thing. Alright, next up on the list is the completed nether perimeter. You'll notice there is no big glowing magenta orb, as I don't need it anymore. But what we are left with is a nice, let me even turn up my render distance for this, a nice, perfectly spherical, flat floor with no beacons anywhere in it. It's just a nice, decorated, wide open space for now. Eventually it will be filled with a wither skeleton farm and a gold farm. However, I have not picked out designs for that. So all we're left with now is fixing the roof, which I might actually end up doing today. But I cleared out all the mobs. We have a nice, I believe it's deep slate. Oh no, it's blackstone bricks and nether bricks. Right, so I got polished blackstone bricks and regular old nether bricks. I was able to use the nether bricks that I had gathered up from mining the nether fortress that was here. So I used about 20,000 of that, and then I had to go farm a whole bunch of shulker boxes of blackstone bricks, and by farm I mean mine in the nether. I mean, if I just zoom out, you can see this was the area that I mined at the roof. So, and then I did a little bit up here. Also, we have a beacon up here still, since that's the little beacon beam. So that's where we got all the blackstone from. And then also there's deep slate tile slab floor to top it all off. But yeah, this is the nether perimeter. We dug it out. Final ending netherrack of 3.2 million. Not bad. I honestly thought we were going to get to 4 million netherrack, but I was a little naive in that statement. Oh well. Scaffolding remains my fourth most mined block, which is crazy. But netherrack is officially up there. And then what's funny is you can see I only picked up 194,000 of it, compared to me picking up more 4.3 million stone. Right, so that tells you that I really did keep all the stone, and I didn't keep any of the netherrack. My thought was, well, I can always go easily grab some more netherrack. But that's the nether perimeter. Hopefully next world tour I will have more progress to show you on building the farms. And also, I don't know if you guys can see this, but the fire kind of peeks in between the cracks. I don't know if that's showing up on video, but it kind of makes it sparkle in some places, which I think is really, really cool. Alright, next up we have the finished... Alright, I finished moving. It's words, they're hard. I finished moving the gunpowder that I had left over in the nether side of the creeper farm storage. And if that sentence made no sense to you, that's okay, it made no sense to me. So, basically, I ran out of shulker boxes as I was moving the gunpowder that I had stored. And so we built the shulker farm for that. And then I moved everything in over here. And you'll see where I moved it from in just a little bit, but this is closer. So this is all the gunpowder that I currently have access to. Most of these chests are filled. In fact, I think all of these chests are filled. So, just to put that into perspective, we have a large bit already. And then, on top of that, we're collecting even more. So we're going to have probably 6-7 million gunpowder to blow up the rest of this creeper farm with, and I am very, very excited to start working on that. And this is where I moved it from. So there used to be a whole bunch of storage down here, since I stored it all down here, right? There's, in the last world tour, I believe I just had one little section left, and that's when I had run out of shulker boxes. So we got that moved, and then shout out to Mac, one of the amazing moderators and viewers of the stream, who helped me build this, which is a nice, wonderful storage area that kills the creepers. It then pushes the gunpowder down through here, and then it triggers this bit of redstone, and then the gunpowder comes over here and gets shoved through this portal, which means that I can effectively AFK it. It's an AFK-able farm now. So this is where all the magic happens, over here. So the gunpowder then comes through here, and much like the beetroot farm, yep, that's what I was looking for, much like the beetroot farm, except it has a little bit of an extra step. I'm unfortunately out of shulker boxes here. The gunpowder comes up, it then gets loaded into a shulker box, and then when the shulker box is full, it gets spat out right down here. And then voila, the shulker boxes then come over here, they go up, and then into here. And here we have even more double chests filled with shulker boxes of gunpowder. And we are on our third and final row. This is what we have. So once this fills up, we will officially have all the gunpowder that we'll need, hopefully, to blow the rest of this farm from Y0 to Y-64 in 1.19. That's the goal. But once again, shout out to Mac for helping me deal with all the extra items, since apparently I went back through this farm and I tried to double check, look for any missing spawning spaces that, okay, maybe zombies are spawning in certain spots when, you know, because I was getting bones and rotten flesh in occasional drops in my shulker boxes, which was causing this to break, because in order for this to work, it needs to be a completely full shulker box. So it was breaking, causing issues. And so I went through, and Max suggested, well, why don't I just throw minecarts that collect the most common things? Rotten flesh, bones, string, golden nuggets from the zombie pigmen spawning on the nether side portal and then falling down that drop and dying. And then arrows. I did, however, on my last AFK session, find a shulker box that didn't fire because it had sticks in it, which means a witch somehow came through, and instead of despawning, she died. I don't know how that one works, but it was just one shulker box and it didn't clog up anything. But once this is done, we can move on to Operation Update. This is literally the only thing we're waiting on. I don't need to wait for the sand, because I can update and then farm the sand. But if I were to update now, that would then break the gunpowder farm, which means I couldn't get gunpowder and we'd be in a catch-22 situation, right? So here in about 2-3 weeks, we're going to be updating to 1.19, and I am very, very, very excited about it. I've been stuck on this version. I say stuck, I've been having a hell of a time with 1.17. But I've been stuck on this version for just under 2.5 years, I think. Whenever it came out, I basically updated that right then and there. And then ever since then, 1.18 came out, didn't update. 1.19 came out, didn't update. 1.20 just came out. About 2 months and a half ago, I think. Didn't update then. But I'm excited. We're going to be all caught up. All caught up. But that's all I have for the creeper farm. Oh, there's one more thing. There's a chunk loader up here. So I AFK in that witch hut. The gunpowder then goes through the nether. And this is the chunk loader, which loads this. So it all works and it all stores everything. Next up is a farm that I haven't been to in a long time. At least in terms of done any major progress on it. Last time we were here, I showed off these walls, and if I didn't show off these walls, well then we decorated the walls finally. I moved the sand out by 1 block, added some sea lanterns, and added a nice cool wall. Now, you might be thinking, why is the darker concrete on top? Because that's not how sunlight and water works. Well, my thought was, I'm mimicking the light levels, right? Since there's light all along the bottom, it's going to be darker up top. So, you could look at it either way. I then cleaned up this little bit. I guess completely disconnected. I didn't do the walls then this. If I showed the walls off a world tour or 2 ago, great. If not, well, you're looking at the walls. But really, the main thing that I did was I moved the AFK platform up to its final resting place. This is also the center of the farm, if I can land on it. You notice that this thing now is super ultra omega charged. Look at how many guardians are here. And they all just come in and make big floppy fish sounds and die to the soul campfire. But there's a whole lot of them now. That makes me very excited. The rate's like quadrupled. And then another thing I did was I decorated the item sorting area. So through here I added a whole bunch of prismarine, and that's what it sounds like. And then this is where all the stuff goes, but added some light sources. Figured I'd finally be able to call this farm complete. Really, if I wanted to, I could change these blocks out, but don't really care for that. But now the Guardian farm, I'm probably not going to touch any of it. I guess I could decorate this tunnel if I really cared, but we might find ourselves back here eventually. Also, but figured I'd give a small update on the state of this farm, because it is something that we spend half a day on. Okay, last but not least, the project that I'm currently working on, and the project that I'll be working on as soon as this world tour is done on stream today, is the wolf farm. Last time this was here, we just had a whole bunch of sheep. We put a whole bunch of sheep in, but now I've decorated it a little bit. We've got the checkered pattern on the outside. Figured I'd make a nice boundary, and then I added in wool for all the corresponding colors. So the red sheep have red, orange of orange, so on and so forth. Also, this is all organized according to something I found on I believe it's the order of dyes on the Minecraft wiki. It's like rainbows, so it's red, orange, yellow, lime, green, light blue, or cyan, light blue, blue, purple, magenta, pink, brown, black, gray, light gray, and white. And then I decided that I would build that upwards like this, a nice little pattern. I didn't do the front because the front's not ready. I want to eventually move all these underground, and then I hope to have, just like the beetroot farm, a nice little section to where all the wolves can come up, and then they get sorted probably up here on top of the floor. The reason about the floor is because I wanted to be able to see through it. Now, if I were smart, what I would have done is for each block where you look down, right, like, see how I'm above the magenta, I could make this magenta stained glass and mirror it, but I kind of like how it's clear and you can see everything without. That probably would have been overstimulating if I did the stained glass idea. Have a little beacon there and a lightning rod to protect the sheep, because I didn't expect there to be a roof on top of the farm. So I figured I would put a little lightning rod in. But we have all the sheep in place. Probably going to murder these sheep sometime. Get rid of them. And this thing is crazy powerful. If you're wondering what the rails are for, I haven't quite worked it all out, but these are going to be the shear refillers. So they're all linked in here. And even though we have basically 2,000 durability in shears, We're gonna run out eventually, right? So I figured I would put some sort of rail where we put a chest minecart, put it along here. Haven't worked out how that's gonna go, if I'm just gonna make it go back and forth, or... Well, my original thought was is I drop a chest minecart down here, it then goes across one way, and then shoots back up in like a bubble column. I thought that would be really cool. I don't know if there's any way that I can implement that. Or maybe what I should probably do is maybe have it drop down through here, go underground, and then all get collected. That's probably what I should do, but I guess I will show that off in the next world tour. But I think, anyways, that's going to do it for this world tour. I hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, let me know what 2 names for the 2 cats that you would like in the comments below, and I will take any suggestions and pick the best one. But that's the 39-month world tour. If you want to stop by live, see me work on this world live, twitch.tv/Rouindog1, link is in the description. And hopefully, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!